So thank you for having time today.
Thank you. I'm super tired.
Really?
Yeah. We went out for a shabu shabu last night. Maybe eat too much and sleep too little.
Okay.
But no, it's my pleasure.
So actually, this book is covered from the 2000 years onward.
Okay.
So, but that kind of years with so much information and music everywhere now. So harder to find something new music or genre or anything. So it feels like a definition of the word progressive is kind of getting difficult, I think. So is it a challenge for you to stay progressive or to keep evolving?
Yeah, good question. I'm not sure if it's so important for me to feel that we are progressive because I don't really know what it means anymore. Back in the day, I think that it was easier to define a progressive band because they were mixing styles and stuff like that. But now progressive means fast guitar solos and weird times. Like it's become a sound and maybe not so progressive. I think progressive music, especially in rock and metal, has become a bit regressive. So for me, and it's also like I don't know if I can decide if we are progressive or not. I think it's up to the audience to decide. But for me, it's become less and less important to be labeled progressive because I don't know what it means anymore. But when I write music, it's easy to, I think, make progress for our own music because I have so many different kind of influences and I'm very passionate about my music and stuff like that. But so I try, but at the end of the day, I just want to write emotional music.
So you don't think about you trying to be progressive?
No. I want to feel like I don't want to repeat myself. Many of our fans wants us to maybe repeat what we did in the early 2000s, but I'm not really interested in that. So I like for us to progress, but not necessarily just so we fit into the progressive rock metal genre.
So we know that your love for obscure prog bands back in 70s, and I feel that because that era was information was kind of limited, so back then many interesting bands able to stand out because limited information. So why do you think that there are not so many bands that these days that capture your interest?
I don't know. Maybe because I don't really listen. I don't search for new bands. I don't know what's going on in the music scene. I don't know what's popular or what's happening or original or progressive. To be honest, I'm stuck with my old records, and I still have so much music to listen to. So I have no idea what's happening.
Actually, we gathered the question from fans, and some fans also asked you that are there any recent bands that you are paying attention to? So I think you're familiar with that kind of question.
Yeah. No, there's not that many that I remember. There is a Swedish, I'm not sure if it's a band, but it's a project. This girl who has a one-man, one-person project called Skator. Skator, which means magpie, bird. Her music it's not rock, but it's very original, very intense, folky. Very good.
So we know that you don't really follow many young bands, but do you ever feel like supporting the next young generation, or maybe producing, or collaborating, or writing for someone?
I mean, if I get the question, but I don't like. I get questions a lot to participate on a record, to sing a little, and sometimes I say yes, and most of the time I say no. I've been asked a few times to produce, but not new bands, and I never really produced a record. by another band. I don't think I'm a very good producer for other bands because I'll probably make their music more complicated than it needs to be. So, but I mean, if somebody asks and I like their sound or whatever, I might say yes. But so far, I haven't.
So, Opeth has become a more major force in the progressive rock scene, we feel. So, looking back over these 35 years now, what part of yourself do you feel has changed the most?
I'm not so eager anymore. I was hungry when I was young to make a name for myself, for the band, and to also make a living. To be honest, I didn't really want to work with anything else. But now I am very happy that we're in this position. It's incredible, considering how strange our music is that we can travel to Tokyo and play shows or anywhere else in the world. I think that's amazing. But I'm not on the hunt for more success anymore, and I'm not. Maybe I stopped caring about those kind of things.
You reached something goal for yourself.
Yeah, I guess.
When you were young.
And I also got older, and you kind of relax. I'm 51 now, so I'd like it. I'd like it. It's not so important. I love what we do, and it's really important to me. But to take it to the next level of success, I'm not so interested.
Then what is your motivation for keeping
music?
Love for music?
Yeah, I love to. I mean, that feeling when you put together something, you're the only one in the room, and you write something that you like, and nobody else has heard it. You just sit there listening to it, like, wow, this is good. That's my best feeling. Before you share it with someone else.
So maybe you are doing music for yourself, maybe?
Yeah. Yeah. And then when it's done and we put out the record, it's not mine anymore. It's everybody's. And then I have to start again and write music for me. And very fortunate that the music I write for me, for my pleasure, so to speak, is also liked and respected by other people.
So you started your own label, more rugged. So while now, has done your own label changed anything for you?
No, I mean we started it as it's a silly story actually, because we were signing to Nuclear Blast record, and I always thought Nuclear Blast sounded so silly.
Oh, really?
I didn't want it to say Nuclear Blast on the record, so it's like okay, let's start our own label. So it's Moderbolaget, which means parent label, you could say. But of course, at the end of the day, we still had the Nuclear Blast logo on the record, so it didn't matter. But that's really why we started it. And it's also like looking at bands like the Beatles, who had Apple Records, and Led Zeppelin, who had Swan Song. It was kind of like it's not 100% serious, but technically we could sign other bands. But then we just have to find some good bands.
Do you plan to releasing other bands in the future?
Well, not really, but we could. Maybe that could be my retirement plan.
Oh.
Be a record boss mogul.
Label owner.
Yeah. Buy a suit and smoke cigar.
I know you don't like social media, but
I don't have it.
But every time a famous artist passes away, you release an official comment as a tribute. So I really like that kind of essay, and you are a good writer, I think.
Thank you.
In terms of text. So I'm curious about you are interested in writing more about essay or maybe kind of autobiography or something.
Yeah, I mean, I was a columnist for a Sweden rock magazine.
Yeah.
So I wrote a lot of reviews, you could say. But I hate social medias. I hate it.
Yeah, I know.
But we have one out of necessity for the band. And I never post anything apart from when somebody dies, which is kind of macabre in a way, but there you go. I mean, someone who mattered to me personally or mattered to the music that we do, I feel it's the least I can do to pay some type of respect when somebody that I admire passes away. So that's why I do that. I don't do it for attention. I just do it even if it's too late, I'd rather say these things to the person who passed away, but of course it's too late. So now I just do it out of respect. And if no one would read it, it just feels good sometimes to put words to your thoughts.
Yeah, I love the piece you wrote that when John Sykes passed away.
Yeah, I mean, he's one of those guys that I think quite forgotten in most big parts of the world, but he was a very, very influential guitar player and songwriter to me and to Frederick as well. So I felt I should write something for him about it.
And your daughters are growing up now, and I felt very interesting that Miriam was involved in the latest record.
Yes.
And you also mentioned that recently you started thinking about who inherited your record collection. So do your daughters show an interest in pursuing music in their own way?
I mean, they're into music. They don't necessarily listen to the stuff that I listen to. Melinda, my oldest daughter, she's now listening to lots of 80s metal.
Oh, really?
She loves Skid Row.
Hey.
And 18 in Life is her favorite song. And she loves Europe, Carrie. She liked the ballads, I think. But then she also listens to other kinds of stuff. And they've always been into music. And Miriam also listens to not so much rock music, but mostly Swedish bands. And I think they like Justin Bieber, stuff like that. Yeah, they play some old songs every now and then. It's like, oh, you're playing a Sade song, that's cool. But yeah, Miriam was involved in the last record, did a little bit of a spoken word there. She wasn't really interested in doing it, but I forced her to the studio to do it.
So recently Ishan's song and daughter and Mendes' song debuted. So I felt that maybe your daughters are interested in doing bands or other things.
No, Melinda, Miriam, both of them had instruments when they were young. Of course, I would put a guitar in their lap, but they didn't play it so much. And Melinda has expressed a little bit of a disappointment with herself that she didn't start playing earlier, and now she feels it's too late, maybe. But I tell her it's never too late. But no, they don't play any instruments. They're mostly fans listening to music. Yeah.
So this is a ABBA T-shirt I bought at the ABBA Voyage in London. Did you see that?
No, but I am going in January.
So what do you think about that kind of new technologies in music?
I don't know, I haven't seen it yet, but I heard about, I remember the Ronnie Dio thing, and I saw pictures and it didn't look that great to me. But the ABBA thing, I'm going with my girlfriend and my daughter, so we're all going to see ABBA Voyage. And I only heard reviews from friends of mine, like Steven Wilson, for instance. He said it's probably going to be shit. But then he went and he texted me, okay, I went and saw it, and I had tears in my eyes. It was so amazing, he said. So I'm really looking forward to it. But, I mean, I'm maybe the Kiss thing, I'm not sure what to think about that. If I was in charge of Kiss, for instance, I would focus, just like ABBA did, focus on a year, say in Kiss like 1976 or 77, something like that, and put together an Avatar show where they look like that. But of course, it's not my decision.
Do you inspired by the AI or that kind of new technology? You don't use that?
No, I never asked Chat GPT anything. I never, now if you Google something, the first answer is an AI reply, and that's very annoying. So I feel like it's forced upon me. But no, I'm completely uninterested in AI. I think it's idle hands are the devil's plaything, as I find it. You should learn and try to find the knowledge without the help of AI, in my opinion. With that said, it's probably have some great, fantastic qualities, but I'm just not interested.
This is a question from fan. Your albums often feature unique rhythmic ideas like paragraph 6 on the new record, or the lines in my hand, or the outro of Deliverance. Are those mainly your ideas, or do they come from the drummers?
I write for the drums too. So I write for all of the instruments. So those are usually my ideas, actually. But then the drummer in question, whether it's Valtteri or it's Axe when he was in the band, or Lopez for that matter, they would use my idea and then kind of tamper with it a little bit and make it into their own idea. But the raw material for the drums always comes from me.
And another fun question is, you went to record shopping yesterday, right? Did you find any hidden gem or find a new favorite store?
No, I went with my friend Masaru, and he showed me around. We went to Disc Union and to which one was it? HMV. Fantastic shops.
Oh.
Fantastic shops. Disc Union, I was like, I couldn't believe it. There was so much I wanted to buy, but a lot of it was stuff I already had. And today I went to his old shop, Recofan, and I went to Tower Records. Incredibly good record shops.
Really?
Yeah, I love them. Very expensive, but very, very good. And I find a lot of stuff. I can't even remember what I bought, to be honest.
You know, kind of popular records are over there. So you're trying to find more obscure, right?
Yeah, but in Japan, I mean, there's in every one of these stores there have been a section for progressive rock, for used vinyl progressive rock. Every shop has it, and you see, like very obscure music there. So it wasn't hard for me to spend a lot of money. It was very easy to become poor.
How about Australia? So I saw the photo of you went to the show of Metallica.
Yes, we met with Lars. No, that was amazing. We've been so tired. I'm still so incredibly jet lagged. I don't know why. We all are very tired. But the shows were great there, and the record shopping was okay. I didn't buy so much. I was too tired.
So Metallica inspired you?
In the beginning, yeah, of course, yeah, they were huge.
But this time, no.
No, it's inspirational to see them. I mean, I love seeing them. It's great fun to see them, and some of those songs are like, classics, and great band. I love Metallica. I don't consume their music or listen to the music as much as I did when I was younger, but seeing them live is like visiting an old friend.
Okay, and you mentioned the interview that composing the soundtrack for Clark was a very enjoyable experience.
Yes.
And do you feel like doing more soundtrack or that kind of things in the future?
Yeah. Yes. But I have got some offers actually.
Really?
Yeah. So I'm not sure. Like those things, it's a lot of talk for a while. It's only when you sign a contract that you know that you have it. So right now it's just on a thought. But I would love to, yeah.
Any particular genre or you want to involve in?
I mean, of course, it would be kind of maybe easier for me to write something horror related, maybe gothic. Like Goblin. But anything, it's a big challenge to write music for somebody else, for somebody else's project, and it's going to fit with a specific scene. So it's completely different than writing for Opeth, but very, very enjoyable. I love it.
Okay, so the time is limited. So last question. So some Japanese fans were curious about this time 2 shows at the same venue and seated, no opening act. So maybe that kind of situation will allow you to build a different set list from another country or atmosphere.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I think the chairs is a mistake.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we've done those shows before when the set list has been a bit more eclectic and maybe a bit more sophisticated. But tonight's set list is not sophisticated. It's very heavy. So then, I mean, it feels like we're in front of a jury almost when people sit down.
Yeah, maybe lots of people stand up.
Yeah, we'll see. But I tried to get them to stand up, but then somebody said that I shouldn't do that because people paid a lot of money for those front seats. There's different prices depending on where you sit. But every show that we've done seated, they always stand up. in the end.
We thought that your choice.
It was, but I regret it.
Oh.
Yeah, I prefer when you get the energy from a standing crowd, kind of a bit rowdy, that type of
But
thing.
in Sydney you played at the Opera House, right?
Mm-hmm. But then the seats are fixed. They are built in. Here there's chairs, or some of the places there's chairs set out, you know. So I don't mind. I mean, if we play the Sydney Opera House, it's fine. It's the Sydney Opera House, and the chairs are fixed anyway, so you can't take them out. But I much prefer to play in front of a standing crowd.
But maybe we hope a little bit set list change for today and tomorrow.
We'll see. We'll see.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you.